and faces are broader. Everything must be able to be read from very far away.
Did you know that the death of Marilyn Monroe, Hollywood's brightest star, is still a big mystery? Suicide, or was a powerful American family involved in something darker? Hollywood's brightest star, Marilyn Monroe, left the world far too soon, sparking endless speculation about her untimely death.
Marilyn was privy to confidential information through her relationships with the Kennedy brothers, and her death was orchestrated to prevent her from divulging these secrets.
Was it a tragic suicide, an accidental overdose, or something more sinister? Officially ruled a probable suicide after slipping into a coma from an overdose of sleeping pills, her death left fans heartbroken. Many believed it was an accident, but conspiracy theories quickly emerged, with some claiming that she was murdered. A common theory points to her alleged affairs with President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy, suggesting that Monroe might have known secrets that endangered national security. Further questions arose from her housekeeper's accounts of the chaotic scene in her bedroom and mysterious phone calls hours before her death. Even after 60 years, Monroe's tragic end remains shrouded in mystery, leaving the world captivated by her legacy and unanswered questions. Number 29. George Reeves. The man who brought sense of mystery. Was George Reeves' death a tragic suicide, or something far more sinister?
Well, the man who first played Superman has been dead now for 32 years. His death was ruled a suicide. But will the case be reopened? We'll have details after a break.
Best known as the hero of the 1950 series Adventures of Superman, Reeves was found shot dead in his Los Angeles home in 1959 at just 45 years old. Officially ruled a suicide, the circumstances were anything but clear. On the night of his death, he was reportedly celebrating his engagement, casting doubt on why he would want to end his life. Witnesses claimed to hear multiple gunshots, unusual in a suicide, and Reeves' tangled personal life added to the intrigue. Rumors swirled about his affair with Toni Mannix, the wife of a powerful Hollywood executive, while his fiancée, Leonora Lemon, was present during the incident and gave conflicting accounts on what happened. Over 6 decades later, questions remain unanswered, and George Reeves' tragic end continues to spark debate and suspicion in Hollywood history. 28. Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini, the legendary magician known for his incredible escape acts, performed for audiences from 1891 until his unexpected death in 1926.
Houdini allowed some students to take some pot shots at his famous rock-hard stomach. One of the students hit him unawares and ruptured his appendix. Over the course of the next several days, his appendix leaked out into his system, slowly poisoning him and killing him.
The official cause of death was peritonitis due to a ruptured appendix, which many believed was triggered by an incident with J. Gordon Whitehead, a student who unexpectedly punched Houdini in the stomach several times after a performance. Whitehead allegedly asked Houdini if he could endure any stomach blow, to which Houdini confidently replied he could, not anticipating a demonstration. Despite feeling pain, Houdini continued traveling for several days before being hospitalized in Detroit, where he passed away on October 31st. 27. Lupe Vele. Lupe Vele, a Hollywood starlet known for her fiery personality and tumultuous life, met a tragic and dramatic end.
She takes the overdose of pills, lays on the bed, and imagines how beautiful she's going to look on the front page of tomorrow's newspaper.
After becoming pregnant by her boyfriend, Herod Ramon, and insisting he marry her, Ramon's refusal devastated Velez. In her despair, she overdosed on sleeping pills, leaving behind a heartbreaking note. "How could you, Harold, fake such a great love for me and our baby, when all the time you didn't want us? I see no other way out for me, so goodbye and good luck to you." Her death was further sensationalized by Kenneth Anger's largely fictional book, Hollywood Babylon, which spread the false and scandalous rumor that she had drowned in a toilet, leaving behind a trail of vomit. 26. Olive Thomas. The tragic end of starlet Olive Thomas is surrounded by mystery and speculation.
That she died of a mixture of mercury bichloride and alcohol. The toilet cleaning solution contained a mixture of mercury bichloride, but so did the tablets that were prescribed to Jack for his chronic syphilis.
She accidentally mixed up sleeping pills with her husband's mercury chloride medication, leading to poisoning. It was late at night, and she couldn't read the labels in the dim light of the bathroom, resulting in the fatal mistake. Newspapers around the world sensationalized her death, with some suggesting that she tried to take her own life after discovering her husband's infidelities, while others claimed that she was driven to despair after being infected with syphilis by him. Yet a darker theory emerged, alleging that her husband, actor Jack Pickford, had intentionally poisoned her to claim her insurance money. Pickford denied the accusations, insisting they were nothing but lies, claiming, "Olive and I were the greatest pals on earth." However, tragically, Thomas's life was cut short, leaving her death shrouded in mystery. 25. Bob Crane. Bob Crane was best known for his role in Hogan Heroes and was found brutally murdered at the age of 49 in his Phoenix apartment.
There are absolutely no clues in the murder of actor Bob Crane, who was known to millions as Colonel Hogan in the television series Hogan's Heroes. The police in Arizona have no idea who entered his room and beat him to death. Here's more from Kim Sedgwick of station KTAR.
Strangled with an electrical cord, investigators discovered Crane had been involving in filming and photographing pornography, and it was speculated that he may have even been bludgeoned with a camera tripod. His close friend, John Carpenter, became the prime suspect, but authorities lacked concrete DNA evidence to charge him. The case remains unsolved, adding another layer of mystery to Crane's controversial and scandalous life. 24. Natalie Wood. In 1981, beloved actress Natalie Wood drowned off the coast of Catalina Island while spending a weekend on a yacht with her husband, Robert Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, our metropolitan area and the whole world mourns the death of 43-year-old movie actress Natalie Wood. Miss Wood won the hearts and minds of fans of the silver screen everywhere.
Though her death was initially ruled an accident by the coroner, the autopsy revealed bruises on her body and an abrasion on her cheek, raising suspicions. Investigators later learned that Wood and Wagner had a turbulent relationship, with reports of an argument on the night of her death over alleged flirtation between Wood and Walken. In 2018, Wagner, then 88, was named a person of interest in the case, leaving the circumstances of her tragic death still shrouded in mystery. Number 23. Thomas Ince. In 1924, Thomas Ince, the pioneering father of the Western, was reported to have died from heart failure at age 44.
Thomas Ince, a Hollywood producer, is still a mystery today. Ince died after a lavish boating excursion hosted by William Randolph Hearst, a newspaper tycoon.
However, his death has long been surrounded by controversy and speculation. Ince had been aboard media mogul William Randolph Hearst's yacht when he suddenly fell ill. While Ince's wife, son, and doctor confirmed the heart disease theory, rumors swirled that the case is far more sinister. Some suggest that Ince was accidentally shot by Hearst or one of his associates during a heated argument, and the death was covered up to protect the powerful mogul. Hollywood's first major scandal continues to spark debate over whether Ince's death was truly an accident or something far darker. Even so, rumors began to spread. Many suggested that Hearst had shot Ince in the head, mistaking him for Charlie Chaplin, who was also on the ship and had supposedly engaged in some scandalous activity with Hearst's mistress, and then covered it all up in a newspaper that he owned. There was no physical evidence to back up the murder claims, but the story remains a hotly debated piece of old Hollywood lore to this day. Number 22. Peg Entwistle. Peg Entwistle, a once promising actress who had made a name for herself in the New York Theater Guild, found herself in Hollywood in hopes of continuing her acting career. After a minor role in the 1932 film 13 Women, which was her only film credit, Entwistle struggled to land further opportunities. Disappointed by her lack of success and unable to secure a contract with RKO Pictures, her dreams crumbled. On September 16, 1932, she climbed to the top of the Hollywood sign and jumped to her death.
Peg told her uncle she was going to meet friends at a local pharmacy. Reportedly intoxicated, she left his home and hiked up the canyon to the Hollywood sign, where she used a workman's ladder to climb to the top of the H and throw herself off the cliff.
Before the tragic act, she told her uncle she was rendezvousing with a friend, and Twistle's death became one of the most chilling and poignant legacies of Hollywood's darker side, a symbol of broken dreams and the pressure of fame. 21. Maria Montez. Maria Montez, a passionate believer in astrology, took a chilling prediction seriously when Hollywood mystic Blanca Holmes told her that her life would be short and her death would come suddenly.
Montez died in France on September 7, 1951, after suffering a heart attack while taking a hot bath.
Unfortunately, Holmes's eerie prophecy came true. While taking a hot bath, Montez suffered a heart attack and tragically slipped beneath the water. The scene, almost fitting for one of the dramatic roles she played in her career, ended in her drowning. Montez's death, both sudden and unexpected, seemed to mirror the dark fate predicted by the astrologer. 20. David Carradine. David Carradine, the actor-star best known for his roles in Kill Bill, was found dead under mysterious and scandalous circumstances in his Bangkok hotel room.
On the crime scene, it appeared the victim died of suffocation. It looked like he had hanged himself.
The 72-year-old actor was discovered naked and hanging in the closet, with Thai police ruling his death as asphyxiation. Though initially suspected to be a suicide, a private autopsy suggests it was accidental, though the exact cause remains unclear. Carradine had been to Thailand to work on his film Stretch. His widow later filed a wrongful death suit, claiming that the assistant assigned to help Carradine navigate the city had abandoned him the night before his body was discovered. The circumstances surrounding his death has fueled much speculation and intrigue. Number 19. Virginia Rappe. Virginia Rappe, a silent film starlet, attended a Labor Day weekend party at Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle's hotel, celebrating his $1 million contract with Paramount. At the party, Rappe became seriously ill from alcohol, and though a doctor confirmed this, she stayed in the hotel for 3 days before being taken to a hospital. By then, it was too late to save her. She died of peritonitis from a ruptured bladder. Maud Delmont, another partygoer, claimed that Rappe had confided in her that Roscoe hurt me, leading to Arbuckle's arrest. He was tried for her death, but was acquitted in his retrial, with the jury apologizing for the lack of evidence. Despite his acquittal, the scandal destroyed Arbuckle's career, and he was found guilty in the court of public opinion and struggled to find work for years afterwards. 18. Martha Mansfield. Martha Mansfield, a rising star in Hollywood, tragically died from an on-set accident while filming The Warrens of Virginia in San Antonio, Texas. While on location in 1923, a fellow cast member accidentally tossed a match, which ignited her large, layer hoop skirt dress. Although the fire was extinguished before it reached her face and neck, Mansfield was severely burned and rushed to a local hospital. She succumbed to her injuries less than 24 hours later. This tragic incident cut short the promising career of a young actress who had starred alongside John Barrymore in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde just a few years earlier. 17. Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield, a Hollywood star who rose to fame alongside Marilyn Monroe, tragically died in a car accident in 1967. And voluptuous lips, Mansfield's life was cut short when the car she was riding in collided, scraping off the top of the vehicle. The horrific crash led to rumors that she had been decapitated, but the truth is less grisly. While the impact was catastrophic, it was not as gruesome as the decapitation rumors suggested. Her untimely death, however, cemented her place in Hollywood legend, much like Monroe's. 16. Isadora Duncan. Isadora Duncan, an iconic dancer, met a tragic and bizarre end that has become a part of Hollywood lore. While driving in Nice, France, in 1927, her long silk scarf became entangled in the spokeswheels of the car. The scarf pulled her out of her seat and strangled her, leading to her untimely death. Though she wasn't directly part of old Hollywood, Duncan's glamorous life and strange circumstances of her death earned her a place in its history. Gertrude Stein famously remarked, "Affectations can be dangerous," reflecting the tragic irony of Duncan's demise. 15. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress, became infamous for her brutal murder, which remains one of the most shocking and enduring cold cases in US history.
Elizabeth, naked and cut in half, her body drained of blood and left in an empty lot.
At just 22 years old, her mutilated body was discovered in a vacant lot in Los Angeles in 1947. She had been cut in half at the waist, drained of blood, and posed. Her face had been slashed from ear to ear, evidence suggesting that she had been bound. The horrifying nature of her death earned her the posthumous nickname Black Dahlia. Despite extensive investigations, her murder remains unsolved, leaving a dark mark on Hollywood's history. 14. Thelma Todd. Thelma Todd, a popular actress in the 1920s and 30s, was found dead in her car on December 16, 1935, near a restaurant she owned. While the initial conclusion was carbon monoxide poisoning from a tragic accident, it was later ruled a suicide attributed to her financial troubles. However, blood spots found on her face and in the car, along with her recent divorce from an abusive husband, led some to suspect foul play. Some even theorized that her ex-husband, Pat DiCiccio, might have been involved. Despite the suspicions, Todd's body was cremated, and no thorough autopsy was performed, leaving the case officially classified as a suicide, with no new evidence to suggest murder. The mystery surrounding her death continues to raise questions. Number 13. Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer, once a promising Hollywood star signed by Paramount Pictures, saw her career derailed by personal struggles, including alcoholism and declining mental health. After gaining acclaim in films like Come and Get It, her erratic behavior led to her being in and out of institutions and family homes. During her time institutionalized, she reported multiple instances of abuse, including rape. Despite a brief resurgence in the late 1950s and early 1960s, Farmer's life was marked by continuous hardship. She died from esophageal cancer in 1970 at age 56. Hollywood's treatment of her, along with her personal battles, likely played a significant role in her tragic downfall. Number 12. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, the legendary action star, died suddenly at the age of 32 in Hong Kong on July 20th, 1973, under mysterious circumstances.
It wasn't something that Bruce took regularly.
Equagesic is the painkiller Bruce takes to combat a headache. It contains aspirin, but also another drug called meprobamate.
Realistically, the discussion boils down to the aspirin and the meprobamate.
While the exact cause of death remains unclear, various theories have been suggested, ranging from assassination by triad gangsters to heat stroke, which gained traction in 2018. However, the most enduring theory is that his death was linked to a so-called Lee family curse. This theory gained popularity after the mysterious death of his older brother and the tragic on-set accident that claimed the life of his son, Brandon Lee. As with many celebrity deaths, Bruce Lee's untimely passing remains shrouded in speculation and intrigue. 11. John Eric Hexum. John Eric Hexum, a rising star from the 1980s, tragically died after a prank on set went horribly wrong.
Sadly, on October 18, 1984, 6 days after the accident, he was declared brain dead.
In October 1984, while filming Cover Up, Hexum, unaware of the potential danger, jokingly held a prop gun to his head and pulled the trigger. The gun contained blanks, which can still be deadly at close range. The blast fractured his skull, sending a bone fragment into his brain. Despite being rushed to the hospital, he was declared brain dead 6 days later. His death at the age of 26 shocked Hollywood and left fans mourning a talent gone too soon. 10. Jack Nance. Jack Nance, best known for his roles in Eraserhead and Twin Peaks, met a tragic end in December of 1996. On the afternoon of December 29th, he was seen at a coffee shop in South Pasadena with a bruised eye.
His autopsy showed he had a blood alcohol level of 0.24%. He'd been suffering from a severe headache, and this had led to a subdural hematoma.
He explained to his friends that he had been involved in a confrontation with a young man. The next day, Nance was found dead in his apartment by screenwriter Leo Bulgarini. Authorities determined that Nance had suffered blunt force trauma to his head, which was likely the result of a fight at a donut shop the day before. He had been struck in his head during that altercation, leading to his untimely death. 9. Krista Helm. Krista Helm, an aspiring actress in the 1970s, was brutally murdered on February 12, 1977, outside her agent's home in West Hollywood. Helm, who had made several films and TV appearances, was allegedly keeping a sex diary in which she detailed her relationships with powerful figures in Hollywood. Some believe this diary, along with recordings of her interactions with influential people, may have led to her death. However, despite suspicions that someone in Hollywood wanted her silence, police never found the diary, and the case remains unsolved. The question of who wanted Krista Helm dead continues to haunt her mysterious murder. Number 8. Ramon Navarro. Ramon Navarro, the iconic Latin lover of Hollywood's silent film era, met a tragic and violent end on October 30th, 1968. The 69-year-old actor invited two young hustlers into his home for what began as a friendly evening. However, after drinking alcohol, the men demanded $5,000 that they believed Navarro had. When he denied having that amount, they brutally beat him, ultimately killing him. The men ransacked his home in search of the money, but Navarro's death raised a chilling question. Did he know his killers? Despite the brutal attack, the motive for the crime remained rooted in a robbery gone terribly wrong. 7. Judy Garland. Judy Garland's life was marked by both brilliance and sorrow. Best known for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, Garland's talent catapulted her to fame, but the pressures of maintaining her image took a toll.
Garland's body has been exhumed from her resting place in New York and flown to Hollywood 48 years after her tragic death.
Struggling with anxiety, sleep problems, and a turbulent personal life, she became reliant on medications. Her tragic death on June 22, 1969 was officially attributed to an accidental overdose of sleeping pills. However, her daughter, Lisa Minnelli, believed Garland's death was more than just the result of substance abuse, suggesting that after years of hardship, Garland has simply grown tired of the relentless strain on her life. 6. William Holden. William Holden's tragic death in 1981 was the result of a freak accident. The beloved actor, known for his roles in Sunset Boulevard and Network, was drinking alone in his Hollywood apartment when he slipped on a throw rug and struck his head on a bedside table. The impact caused severe bleeding, and despite likely being conscious for some time after the injury, Holden did not attempt to call for help. His blood alcohol level was found to be dangerously high at 0.22, which may have contributed to his inability to recognize the severity of his injury. He tragically bled to death alone in his apartment. 5. William Desmond Taylor. William Desmond Taylor, a famous silent film director, was found murdered in his Los Angeles bungalow in 1922 with a bullet in his back. The investigation revealed some shocking details, including a love note from Mary Miles Minter, a young actress who had worked with Taylor. Minter and her mother, Charlotte Shelby, were reportedly at Taylor's home on the night of his death, and the gun used in the murder matched one Minter had previously attempted to use on herself. Despite these potential leads, no one was ever prosecuted, and the case remains unsolved, adding to Hollywood's long history of mysterious deaths. Number 4. Johnny Stompanato. Johnny Stompanato, a gangster and the violent lover of actress Lana Turner, was fatally stabbed in 1958 at Turner's home. The primary suspect was Turner's 14-year-old daughter, Cheryl Crane, who claimed she stabbed Stompanato to protect her mother during a heated argument. However, the absence of fingerprints on the knife led some to speculate that Lana Turner might have been the one to stab him, either in self-defense or to escape the abusive relationship. Crane's confession might have made an effort to shield her mother, as she would face a lighter sentence as a minor. The true circumstances remain murky. 3. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino, Hollywood's original Latin lover, passed away on August 23, 1926 at the age of 31 from a ruptured ulcer. His death sparked an unprecedented outpouring of grief from his devoted fans, with some even attempting suicide in the wake of his passing. Valentino's fame, built on roles in films like The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and The Sheik, made him an international heartthrob. The overwhelming mourning and chaotic scenes around his funeral, which featured dramatic displays like actress Paula Negri feigning for the press, reflect how his stardom both captivated and consumed the public. His tragic end at the height of his fame only cemented his legacy as an enduring Hollywood icon. 2. Linda Darnell. Linda Darnell, once celebrated as the girl with the perfect face, met a tragic end in 1965 when a cigarette she was smoking while watching one of her old films ignited a fire in her home. Despite her immense success in the 40s and 50s, including roles in Fallen Angel and No Way Out, her life took a dark turn. The fire severely burned Darnell, and despite being rushed to the hospital, she passed away from her injuries a few days later. Her final interview, published after her death, is hauntingly prophetic, as she had expressed a fear that her life might end in tragedy. And number 1, Vic Morrow. Vic Morrow's death on the set of Twilight Zone, the movie, in 1982, remains one of Hollywood's most tragic accidents. During the filming of a Vietnam War scene, a helicopter, damaged by pyrotechnics, crashed into Morrow and 2 child actors, Micah Den Lee and Renee Sin-Yi Chen. Morrow and Micah were decapitated by the rotor blade, while Renee was crushed by the helicopter. Despite the horrific nature of the accident, director John Landis, producer George Folsey Jr., and others involved were acquitted after a lengthy trial. The tragedy led to significant changes in on-set safety regulations in Hollywood. Thanks for watching. If you're intrigued by these mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more, and check out our other videos for more untold Hollywood stories and unforgettable scandals. We'll see you in the next video.